Lords of the Rising Sun is a map-based real-time strategy game taking place in 12th century Japan with arcade-style minigames mixed in. It was created in 1989 for computers, ending up on many platforms including the TurboGrafx-16 CD-ROM in 1992. If you are a strategy fan, a war game fan, and a minigame fan, then this is for you because it is a unique blend of them all. That is, if the few quirks and a high difficulty don't deter you from having fun. As we spin up the disc, oh, come on. Man, some of these games take up a lot of save space. Please delete some date. What is this, Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind? Anyway, you'll begin by watching a really nice little cutscene and then head to the main title screen. Here you can start a new game and then select one of 3 characters to control/stories to play. As you can tell, right off the bat, this game has a lot of stuff packed into it from a multiple story standpoint and some nice replay value as a result. You can choose to play as one of 2 brothers who are part of the Minamoto clan, each of them building an army to avenge their father's death. Or you can play as the bad guy, the brothers' literal blood enemy, as you secure your position at the Imperial Court. Each character has specific objectives and different difficulty levels. After choosing a warlord, you'll end up here, on the map screen. Get used to this, because your eyes will be glued to it most of the time, as the majority of action takes place here. It is a map of 12th century Japan, and honestly, it's not horrible. However, immensely cluttered at first glance, maybe even at second glance. As you scroll around, you'll see castles, monasteries, towns, ports, and movable armies. The message area at the bottom will relay important information, both good and bad, as things happen in real time. Trust me, the manual is your friend, because it will lay out a lot of information you'll need to know. And without giving too much away, there are a lot of commands and moves in this game. To put it simply, it's your job to strategize scenarios and complete all of your objectives. Pressing button 1 will freeze the map and allow you to select an icon and plan your next move. Oftentimes, the screen will change from map to something else. Let's talk about those something else's, also known as battle screens. First, engage. Your army units are on the left, and enemy units are on the right. The goal is to kill the enemy general, but it can be difficult if your army isn't built up enough. You can change the commands for the different characters and then start battle to begin the fight. The battle keeps going until one side is annihilated, or there's a retreat. This one is pretty easy to learn, although not the easiest to win. Then again, it could honestly just be me. Then we have horseback pursuit, where you control a warlord on horseback, avoiding obstacles and cutting down enemy soldiers. You can swing the sword and take everyone down. Although, I have trouble every now and then lining up these sword swipes as the controls are wonky, but again, that could just be me. When you attack the castle, you control a samurai who basically represents your entire army in a kind of maze. You have until sundown to kick some behind. You'll notice the sun start to go down and the pressure will be on. The controls are a bit stiff here, and you cannot fling arrows at an angle, but the enemy sure can. Nice. It's not a bad minigame, really. In fact, I like this one a lot, but it can be a bit long and sluggish. My personal favorite something else is the defense screen. Here, foot soldiers appear running towards you and over the walls. You have a trusty bow and arrow and you fire ahead. It's not always easy to line up shots. You need to shoot a little before you normally would, but this one is a fun little game. And finally, we have Ninja Attack, where assassins head toward you as you slash away. Why am I showing you the manual here instead of footage? Because in all the years I've played this game on and off, I have never seen this screen. But that could just be me. And that is essentially all of Lords of the Rising Sun. It's a pretty fun strategy game that offers a little variety in the something else screens. It's a very long game as well. Thank God for the save feature. I love that sound. I don't know why. The graphics on Lords of the Rising Sun are rather colorful and somewhat pleasing. To be honest, the game, while simplistic, has a really nice look overall. The animated sequences are well done and fun to watch, and even the mini-games are varied and detailed. The music is pretty good. It has a nice Japanese feel. There are a few little sound effects like busting a door open, that famous grunt when you're hit, and of course, the horn. The animated sequences have a decent narrator,
enjoyed came to an end.
Although the rest of the voice acting is a little bit lame.
Okay, let's go.
But you know I love that. The controls are pretty good overall, as you are mostly controlling message screens and selecting/deselecting menus. The mini-games all have slightly different controls, but none of them are what I'd call complicated. But I will say that some could have used a little more polish. The game has a very quick pace, followed by a very sluggish pace. Waiting for characters to slowly move around the map can be boring, and to top it off, as things happen and the message screen keeps popping up, everything will freeze over and over, which is really Snoresville. Lords of the Rising Sun is notorious for being a difficult game. While I wouldn't say strategy games are my strong suit, I have to agree here. I have played for hours at a time for many, many years since owning the game as a kid, and I can only get so far. Some of that is the difficulty, and some of that is just my lack of interest after a while. But I still like it and find it to be a good game. In fact, the game has a pretty nice cinematic feel, it's epic in length, and if you allow yourself to get sucked in, you may last for quite a while. Unfortunately, wait a minute. Oh, now I see my problem all these years. There's a hot tip line. Okay, here we go. Let's see what happens here. Finally,
The call you are attempting to place is not allowed from this line.
Oh, yeah, you can't call a 900 number from a cell phone, huh? Well, I guess I'll just continue to suck. Until I can find a landline. Lords of the Rising Sun is a really unique combination of games focusing primarily on strategy. If you give the game a chance, you'll find it a bit addicting, and the more into the various genres you are, the more you'll love it. I recommend it for sure, and at the end of the day, I like it. And if it's the kind of game you'd enjoy and you have a landline, I think you'll like it as well.